In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
From beautiful Saline in southeastern Michigan.
Around the world at sunskymysteries.com.
This is the 2009 Top 10 Webcam in the World winner. This is S3E3.
We are poor little lambs who have lost our way. Ba, ba,
This message is transmitted at the request of the United States Office of Civil Defense.
Already, some in Congress are trying to undo these automatic spending cuts. My message to them is simple. No.
You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
So these cuts are not smart, they are not fair, they will hurt our economy, not well thought through. If we can figure out how to make energy out of that, we'll be doing all right.
The only real effect I can have is to create the impression that things aren't as bad as they are, to give our people time, the opportunity to survive.
I guess I just never realized I'd gone so far. We had lost so much control.
Totalitarianism doesn't need armies. It only needs to control a couple of things: the media and the ability to dispense privilege to some and withhold it from others. And of course, a weak and divided people helps.
There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, rank marks, rims, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet.
wake up, America. The changing has begun. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring in your heart.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of Surrounded by Many Idiots, starring me, Bill Zam, your host. I actually have some good news for you. Our live shows are going to be returning in the next couple of weeks. Watch this YouTube channel for those details. They will be, as always, or where they started out at sunskymysteries.com. And if you'd like to listen to the podcast and follow along with the show notes, as well as get to all the links for all of the stories that I talk about on the show, you can go to USSAMichigan.com. That's the Michigan League of Fed Up Citizens. Our new site is SalineETV.com. And, of course, at all of those pages, you will find a link to our most excellent homepage, Zamistan. So, visit all of our sites and enjoy yourself. I have an open letter that I have written. It is a letter that they will never read. It's from the Michigan League of Fed Up Citizens. Dear Representative or elected official, your job as the employee of the public is to educate with facts, not indoctrinate with your viewpoint. Your job as a member of the government is to protect our country from harm, not seek ways to shackle the citizens. When bad things happen, It is not an emergency, a situation that has gone on too long. It's not a situation that points out a common sense solution that is yours and yours alone. Your job is not to make sure that nobody is able to succeed, and if they happen to succeed, to punish them. Your job is to get the hell out of the way. Your job as president is to protect the country, not lecture us like a really, really bad supervisor or our daddy. You are neither. Best regards, the citizens. You know, the ones that you call the enemies of the state. A simplification of the situation is that the people in charge, these people in Washington, do not want you or I to succeed. These people were raised to believe that this is a vastly unfair, unjust country, and that their job is to make sure they fix it. They believe that this country was not only founded illegally, it was discovered illegally by illegal immigrants, and they need to fix that through re-education. The sad truth is that the President of the United States believes this. The people that surround him believe this. And the people behind the scenes, pulling the strings, laugh in glee that their plan is succeeding. They laugh like this. Like that. Creating an entire society whose purpose is to believe that the citizens are unfair, unable to do good on their own, unable to make their own decisions. They have succeeded in that they have actually created the society that they desire. Slaves to serve them. If they want to rescue our country, if we want to rescue our country, we have to stop the indoctrination of our children in the public school system. We have to stop the sensitivity training. We have to stop the sexual training. We have to stop the false history teaching and the false political teaching. We need to learn the truth. The first step in that journey is to realize that these are all lies. We need to educate people ourselves. We need to point out that the people in charge are creating these emergencies that don't exist. We need to point out that we give them the authority to be in service to the country, not the other way around. Now, you want an emergency? I'm going to show you an emergency right now. Here is your bloody emergency, if you'd like to see an emergency. Right here is your emergency. This comes from NBC News. Successful hacker attack could cripple U.S. infrastructure. A report tying the Chinese military to computer attacks against American interests has sent a chill through cybersecurity experts who worry that the very lifelines of the United States, its energy pipelines, its water supply, its banks, are increasingly at risk. Well, you know what? Here's an idea. Instead of lining up firemen and police officers behind you over there at the White House, why the hell don't you address that? Why don't you come out and give us one of your famous lectures on that subject? Why don't you? We need to point out that they do not give us our rights. Our rights are inherited. Our freedoms, our right to protect ourselves, is not theirs to dribble out as they see fit. And another thing, while I'm on my monologue, there is no such thing as gun control. Don't buy into their way of saying things. It is people control. That's what it is. There is a reason why these people are doing this, to take away your choices, your choice of food, your choice of where to live, your choice of what to say, what you want, and the right to assemble peaceably. These rights are not given to you by the President of the United States. It is not his to give or take. That is what makes these perilous times. We live in a society of wolves. You do not fight that by creating even more sheep. Now, you know, our revolution was one of the few in the history of this entire planet where those that defeated a tyrannical government created a document that took away their own power, the Constitution of the United States. And if you don't believe me that these people are trying to usurp that, check this out. Check this one out right here. This article is written by constitutional attorney Mr. Michael Connolly. How would you feel if you received a letter from the United States government informing you that because of a physical or mental condition that the government says you have, it is proposing to rule that you are incompetent to handle your own financial affairs? I'm sure you've heard about this before. This is an actual copy from the Department of Veterans Affairs over there on Southwest Main Street, floor 2, Portland, Oregon. Important reply needed, it says at the top. And right here on the screen, right there in front of you, right there in front of your Mark II eyeballs, is this paragraph. If the VA decides that you are incompetent to handle your benefit payments, VA may appoint a fiduciary payee to manage your VA payments. All of your payments will be made directly to your fiduciary. And on the next page, page 2, right here, that should send a chill through every man, woman, child, dog, cat, gerbil, hamster, parakeet, and any other citizen of the country. A determination of incompetency will prohibit you from purchasing, possessing, receiving, or transporting a firearm or ammunition. If you knowingly violate these prohibitions, you may be fined, imprisoned, or both pursuant to the Brady Handgun Violence Protection Act. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is proof in writing that the United States government is attempting to prevent Americans from exercising constitutional rights. Not just the right to bear arms, not just the Second Amendment, mind you, but the ability to conduct their own financial affairs. If the government deems a veteran as being incompetent, I wonder what the criteria for that is. Slowly but surely, every day this government is whittling away your rights, your powers, and your ability to act freely. Action matters. If you are not registered to vote, you are the problem. If you do not spread the truth of this, you are the problem, because action matters. If you do not do everything you can to convince others of this, you are the problem. Action matters. And all of these things, taken in their totality, all the things that they are trying to do and are doing is called treason. It's called that for a reason. And there is a solution to this. It's very simple. It is 3 words. Elections have consequences. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was tonight's monologue. What do you say we go on to the super duper remainder of the show? This is called stretching things out while I try to move the screens around to where they need to be. Let's take a look at tonight's show notes. Meet me, meet you, Meteor. The Russian Meteor. The old conspiracy mill is going full blast on this one after limping into the end of the world is coming in March of this year. That's right. That, of course, was after the embarrassing December 21st doom date that 99% of everyone associated with it forgot to mention that December 21st was the start of the end. Whatever, who cares? The big new theory is that a UFO shot down the Russian Meteor in order to save us. Apparently, the UFO people were taking some time off when Fukushima happened. Anywho, this particular theory, along with the videos that seem to show that there was in fact an object that hit the meteor. Forget that all of those videos were shot through scratched, dirty automobile windshields on dash cams that were mounted to vibrating vehicles. We'll let that slide just for a minute. Every single video from that event is, in fact, tainted. They are no good. To achieve some sort of analysis from that is, in a word, worthless. However, let me show you the video that I have up here on the screen. It is at YouTube. Let's see how well the system can show that to you. Okay, let's take a look here. Here we go. Here comes the Russian Meteor engaged by UFO. And you can see this is a little webcam, and it's really, really crappy resolution, as you can see. And there goes the meteor. Whee! The meteor comes down, a great big boom and everything, and everybody's running around. And you're going to go ahead and take a look at it again, apparently. And I remind you that this is not very good resolution here. And, of course, the video there says that you can see it uncloaking. Let me see if I can get a better resolution here and actually get it to play. Okay, now according to them, there you go. According to this video, now watch here, and there you go. That may have been a lens flare, it may not have been a lens flare. Let's take a look at it again, real close, right here. Here it comes. Here comes the meteor, and right here is the mystery object. Now, if it's a lens flare, a scratch in the lens, or what have you, one would think that it would in fact be a reverse image of the meteor as it's coming down. Now you can see that the leading edge is dim and the back edge is bright. So this could in fact possibly be a lens flare or a scratch on the lens or the plexiglass cover of the housing where the camera is. Because I'm sure that you realize that they're not just sticking webcams out in the open. They're going to have them in some type of protective cover, probably with plexiglass over the front of it, which gets scratched after a while. So we can go ahead and watch the rest of this video right here. And we can see that here comes the object right there again. And at this point, what this person did, let's take a look down here. When I first viewed this footage, I assumed it was a lens flare, but I decided to have a closer look, and in my opinion, there is an object, and it does seem to engage the meteor. So let's take a look at this enhancement right here. And here comes the meteor. You can see the meteor, and there is the object right there. So in fact, the person that analyzed this video and ran it through these filters seems to believe that in fact this meteor was struck by something from the ground. But what? And we're going to go through a few more filters here. And of course, in the show notes, we will have the link to this video on YouTube if you can't find it yourself. Okay, so there we go. And that was that again. So, I, of course, being the very kind host of the show and monologue beatdown artist, have come up with an actual plausible theory on this. It's at least as valid as the UFO theory or the Russians using some kind of spectacular missile defense shield to shoot the thing down. And that is in a place called the Valley of Death in Russia. Let's take a look. In northwestern Yakutia in Siberia, that's Yakutia in Siberia, in the basin of the upper Vilu River, I'm not pronouncing any of this correct, There is a hard-to-reach area that bears the marks of a tremendous cataclysm that took place some 800 years ago, which toppled the entire forest and scattered stone fragments over hundreds of square miles. Distributed across the area are mysterious metal objects located deep underground in the permafrost. Now, bear with me here, okay? Just entertain this particular theory. On the surface, their presence is revealed only by patches of weird vegetation. The ancient name of this area is Chirk Ich, which translates as the Valley of Death. After having systemized a large quantity of reports and material of various kinds, we decided to inform you of something that may change perceptions of the world around us, our place in it, if humanity can take heed of what is stated here. For many years, the Yakut people have given a very wide berth to this remote area that has played and still plays a special powerful role in the fate of not only civilization, but of the planet as a whole. This is another astounding supposition in itself, but the article continues. And remember, this article that I'm reading from right here, I'm going to show you the webpage, is from 5 years ago. They also wrote in this article, a very, very long time ago, someone constructed in what is known as the Valley of Death, a complex that is still today is protecting the Earth from meteorites and asteroids. Of course, such a suggestion is staggering. It is hard even to contemplate such a possibility. That, of course, should surprise nobody that the mainstream science has once again failed to even consider the possibility that something existed before they say it did. After all, science is right, and you are a rube for thinking otherwise. Destruction or deflection of meteorites and asteroids is achieved using a force field which is conveyed in concentrated form by some type of electromagnetic formations that resemble glowing, firing spheres. Remember the video. In essence, these are something like ball lightning, with the difference being that the largest ball lightning known to science is about 2 meters in diameter, whereas the spheres used to deflect or destroy meteorites are of gigantic dimensions, 60 meters in diameter. All of this, there's an image of an artist's conception of what one would look like firing one of their little energy balls at a meteorite, and so it should surprise nobody that the video may actually have proof on it that something did in fact whack the meteor. As I said, these are, let me go here and close that and close that and close that. Close that bit of bad news. Okay, let's close that bit of bad news. And there's your UFO thing right there. Right here at BibleApocalypse.com. The link is in the show notes. This was written by Dr. Valery Uverov, Mystery of Siberia's Valley of Death. He wrote this. Eyewitness reports the area in question can be described as a solid mass of swamps alternating with near impossible taiga covering more than 100,000 square kilometers. In order to shed light on whatever it was that existing barely perceptibly alongside of us gave rise to these rumors, we had to go into the ancient history of this region. And you can see some artist conceptions of these spheres that people have drawn over the years. Right here like that. There's another one there. And there's one of their little fireballs going off there. And there's a photograph of a dam that was built that destroyed a few of these underground spheres. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying to yourself, Bill, that's just some dumb article on the internet. Au contraire, mon frère. Let's go to the website of the scientist that actually went there with photos and everything. It's called 14times.com. This article is by Ivan Mackerly, journeying across the Siberian taiga in search of the strange cauldrons said to be left by alien visitors or ancient demons. And nope, we're going to close that because we don't want to see that. And here are some photographs from the actual expedition. One here on the left is the Siberian taiga, and here is Ivan Mackerly on one of the boats. Here is their tents right here in this photograph right here. Here is a sketch of one of the iron houses in the area. Here is a bird's eye view, probably from a helicopter, of the Valley of Death. Here is a photograph of one of them doing a exploration in a motorized paraglider. Here they are investigating one of the ponds where the metal cauldrons are. And here is another image right here of one of the ponds that the calderas apparently sank in. And here is an image from Tunguska, which is related to that, and an artist's conception of the alien tower that is said to be there. Here is the gentleman that wrote this article right here for 14times.com. And let's go over here and we can see what Ivan has to say. The Siberian taiga is a vast stretch of mainly barren coniferous forest, as unspoiled and unexplored as the Amazon jungle, without a lot of clear cutting to plant corn, I bet. And more than 100,000 square kilometers in western Yakutia are completely uninhabited, devoid of any sort of trails. The terrain is mostly thick forest, full of uprooted trees, sprawling swamps, and swarms of mosquitoes. In short, it's an ancient wildwood, an ideal setting for myths and legends about strange creatures and anomalous zones where bizarre things happen. And so that is the website where they, the people that actually went there. This is in December of 2007, so this has been around, okay? This concept of these calderas that shoot down meteorites, just like the one that was going to hit Russia and was struck by something, according to the video analysis. Just like that, these things are supposed to shoot down meteors and asteroids that are going to strike the Earth. This is written in 2007. I would tend to place a little bit more weight on this particular theory than the UFO theory myself. Because them there UFO people were flying around like George Jetson, you know, flying around through the air. And why would their only purpose, why would their only intervention be for a meteor or an asteroid striking the Earth? Why wouldn't they have stopped the tidal wave in Japan, the Fukushima disaster, all of these mega earthquakes, the volcanoes exploding all over the Earth, the wars, the pestilence, the famine, the people starving? What the hell is so important about a meteor hitting some remote town in Russia that supposedly is some type of a nuclear facility? And I have heard rumors, okay? I've heard people's opinions that, gosh, there's a lot of people with dash cams in Russia. You see those dash cam videos all the time. They're thinking to themselves, you know what? It's a super secret installation, so they got those webcams for security purposes. Sorry. Hold on. I have to play the wrong music. Wait a minute here. We're going to have... There we go. Oops. It would help if I actually turned up the volume. Wrong. As it turns out, law enforcement in Russia is on the take, shall we say? And in order to prevent having everything that you own on this planet taken away from you by the con artists that go running around playing bumper cars with other cars, a lot of people have webcams or dash cams in their vehicles. There are videos on YouTube. Some of them go on for 20 minutes of nothing but the stupid things that people do in Russia when they're driving. It's hysterical. Wait till you get to the part where the dump truck carrying about 50 cows tips over in the middle of the road. That's hysterical. So, at any rate, that is our story about the Meteor. I find it to be very interesting. And my final story for the night is titled, They Never, 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 Ever Listen. Do they? Not one of them. Scientists are like cats. They look like they're listening, but they're really not. All they hear is Charlie Brown's mom. Now, we've all seen the Terminator movies, and now they're going to go ahead and create the damned robots. We've seen the zombie movies and shows, and now researchers develop zombie cells that increase performance after death. Right here at the America blog, zombie cells created by government researchers. You can't make this crap up. Listen to this. The United States Department of Energy reports that researchers at Sandia Labs working with the University of New Mexico have created a zombie cell that is more resilient and outperforms living mammalian cells. And believe it or not, the website where it is at is called energy.gov. That's right. That's the same website where they tell you to buy all those damn CFL bulbs and how to inflate your tires to get better gas mileage. They've gone ahead at energy.gov and created zombies. Or, as the powers that be laugh, let's read some more about this. This is just so funny. It's sad but funny because these clowns never listen. Zombie replicants outperform the living. So now not only are the zombies going to come and kill us, we're going to have to use machine guns to kill the damn things. But no, we can't do that because the government's taking them away from us. I told you, these people are idiots. Zombie mammalian cells may function better after they die, have been created by researchers at the Sandia National Laboratories. The simple technique coats a cell with silica solution to form a near-perfect replica of its structure. The process may simplify a wide variety of commercial fabrication processes from nano to macro scale. Coming soon to your supermarket, Monsanto zombie corn. Oh, good Lord, these people are insane. My name's Bill Zam. I'll see you on our next exciting show, episode of Surrounded by Idiots.